What is going on? Welcome to episode 513 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. We got Johnny. What's going on?
What's up? I'm much better than Josh at Street Fighter.
We found that out tonight. Yes. Crawler, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you. A little bit more of a better voice this week. I think I did have pneumonia. I didn't have bronchitis because two other people in my family have tested positive or come up with pneumonia on their chest X-ray. So I think I did have pneumonia.
Oh, good times. Good times.
Yep.
Cheesy, how's it going?
What's going on, cheese curds? That intro's fun. When did you change that?
Like last week, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, the week. You weren't here last week because you got married a couple of years ago and you decided to go out on a date.
That's right. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and I finally had a little bit
2
of
weeks ago. I guess none of us had an episode last week because Josh had to go on vacation.
That's
Oh,
right.
that's right. How was that?
Yeah. It was good. Yeah. Tropical, Puerto Rico. It was like
You are bad at this game, Josh.
areas, bro. I just turned it on. Like
Wow.
just wait.
I love to
just
see
wait.
Crawler's gameplay. That's what I want to see.
Well, I'm putting out a challenge right now. We'll talk about it a lot more, but in the airport, my high score right now is 1.3 million. So you guys gotta see if you can
And we're back on 2-minute runs, right? On this?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll get into it. But yeah, Puerto Rico's good. Excited to be back. Excited to be chatting with you guys, hanging out. But yeah, Cheesy, it's 2 weeks old. And the big brain moment I had was, wait, if I put a starting soon intro, even if it's 10 seconds, I don't have to try to because you never know what happens when you hit go live, right? So now it's just everything's just buttery smooth. And then it says, thanks for watching at the end. So I have time to shut it down without having to wait till the last second. And then we're all sitting there staring, and then Crawler says a swear, that kind of thing. So, yeah, but, quick reminder, you guys, there you go. Elgato is part of Prime, all the Prime deals on Amazon right now. So n64josh.com/Amazon. And then
Prompter is tempting right now.
Prompter is $189. It's $100 off. There's capture cards, if you want to be able to capture Switch 2 footage, that kind of stuff, everything. They've got a ton of items on sale right now. So again, n64josh.com/Amazon, and then just search up Elgato, and you'll find their deals. So before we jump into the main three topics, which are for tonight, got them pulled up right here. First, we're going to be talking about how we're feeling about the Switch 1 or the Switch 2 being 1 month in. Topic number 2, with a mid-gen cycle launch, could Switch 2 end up like Switch 1 when it comes to third-party support? And we've got some reasons why. And then topic number 3, since Strikers released, we're going to talk about which Strikers is best. And it's going to be a fun conversation. I can't wait to get into it. Before we do, Johnny, where can people connect with you?
I'm Johnny Boy everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and the Community Kitchen podcast, which wasn't one this week because of me. Because
Again.
My house almost caught on fire.
What?
And that was scary.
But for real?
Our circuit breaker was fried, and it melted. It was was not great.
Fun fact, I experienced that same thing when I was in 5th grade, and we had to have the fire department come put out the panel. So,
well, it was
it
wasn't on fire, but it was melted, and
it was getting there.
It was getting there. We had to get a whole new system. It was
yeah.
Over 4th of July weekend. I probably got charged way more than I should have.
Oh, because you had to have the electrical company come out?
Yeah, so they had to come out on Thursday night, which was the day before 4th of July. It was a mess. But new circuit breakers in, and should be. I'm hoping insurance covers it, so should be good.
Fingers crossed. Crawler, where can people connect with you?
Best spots are TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawlers without the E.
Twitch stream starting soon.
I do have like I need to. It's easier. I just need to download the program or whatever. I there's a message in TikTok that I can go live or whatever. So
Oh, there you go.
probably just do that.
There you go. Yeah, that's good. Cheesy, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky CheezyC64, CheezyC64, and the Communication Error Podcast.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. And speaking of podcasts, guys, the Nintendo Topic podcast is going to be making its way to Spotify and Apple and all those places. And I'm on there every Friday or most Fridays. So if you want to check out another show, there's another spot where you can find me. Well, I think it's time to get into our game picks of the week. All right. Brawler, I'm going to let you start because I know what your game pick of the week always is.
A little game called Stitch. You should play it.
Elatro.
No, I've downloaded some stuff. I haven't played a ton, and I haven't started Bravely Default yet, but that's the one I did download. And then over the weekend, I saw the thing on the eShop kind of saying a bunch of games got updates. ARMS was one of them. I didn't dig out the actual cart to put it in, but I did kind of just go through and update / download, I guess, some games onto my Switch 2 that maybe weren't there. And I ended up playing a decent amount of just Switch Sports, which I don't think has a Switch 2 kind of mini update, but it was good. I played a little bit of basketball and badminton. I got some tennis elbow. I think I was feeling it in my elbow after playing badminton and tennis, but mainly because I just sit at my desk and don't stand up and play Switch Sports. I just try to make it happen.
I think that one's going to be a Switch 2 upgrade. I think we're going to get a couple more sports, and they're going to upgrade it because it's sold so well.
Bring back Woohoo Island. Just make it like fix bowling. Bring back 100. Put the 100-pin challenge in.
Put baseball in there. Get all the original sports in there.
Yeah, home run derby and.
Yeah, home run derby. Do it for the All-Star break right now.
Yep.
All right. Cheesy, how about you? You got a game pick of the week?
I don't even remember the last game that I played, if I'm being honest. It's being a dad, man.
Diaper simulator.
Where is the time? Yeah, basically.
Don't they have a mom simulator game?
They probably do.
They do.
2024. I have it. Yeah. Mom Simulator
Really learned a lot of
2024.
I don't know. I mean, I could say Splatoon, but honestly, there is Splatfest this week, so that is what I will be playing this weekend.
Oh, what are the choices?
It's how do you like to travel the most, or like how do you like to travel? By car, by air, or by sea.
None of the Inklings are picking C.
Yeah, that's true. No, I don't know. I guess right now I'm like, plane is usually how I like to go, but planes are kind of weird right now, so probably not the
You
best
don't have to take off
decision.
your shoes? No.
No.
You might have to flap your wings though.
Nice.
Jesus.
Sea is cool, but I feel like kind of scary. You never know, like if you're just gonna be stranded out in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Or if you're on a Disney cruise and you just have to jump in after your kid.
Yeah. Is that
Crazy.
something that happened to you, Crawler?
No, but that
No,
happened
it
like,
was on the
like
news.
last week or 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
There
I
was a
didn't know
kid that fell overboard and the dad jumped off after him.
Oh,
or
wow.
her. I don't know.
Her. After her.
And they had to launch the drivable lifeboat or whatever to go rescue him. But they were both okay.
Huh.
Yeah, she
Yeah, I don't
basically
know.
fell down some kind of like a tube or something. I can't remember like a porthole or something. Like it wasn't supposed to be open or something like that, and she ended up falling down it. And he went after her. So something along those lines. I don't
Which
know.
is a good way to
Anyway.
die. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm really looking forward to DK Bonanza. So that'll be the
Yeah.
next one.
Yeah, 1 week, a little over a week. So very cool. All right, Johnny. As soon as I mentioned game pick of the week, you were like, I got some.
we have some Tony Hawk footage. I've been playing some Tony Hawk because that came out for the deluxe edition, but we'll probably talk a little bit more about that in a bit. And we just played some Street Fighter 6 on the Switch too, and that was fun. But I've been kind of bored with Mario Kart, so I wanted to like play other things. And I am a sucker for Vampire Survivor likes. And I was playing this one called Army of Ruin. It's like $8 on the eShop. If you like Vampire Survivors, that's another good one. It's just like dopamine hits galore. You just get a ton of unlocks, a ton of achievements, and I don't know. They're just time sucks. So if you're looking for like something to not think
Way to spend 20 minutes, right?
for hours, I mean, it adds up.
Okay.
I think I already put like 3 or 4 hours into it. And then I've also been playing this game called Lost in Random: The Eternal Die. And I don't know if you guys know, there was a Lost in Random game that came out like, I don't know how, like a year or two ago, maybe, but it was like an action platformer. This one is a Hades like. So if you like Hades, you'll probably enjoy this Lost in Random Eternal Die. It just came out like a couple weeks ago. It's on the original Nintendo Switch. It's not Switch 2 only. Same with Army of Ruin. So that's a pretty cool one if you like Hades and you're waiting for Hades 2, if that ever comes out. And then finally, I've been trying some Switch 1 games to see if they run better on Switch 2 without updates. And the one I tried, the infamous Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh, yeah.
And
Is it better?
it's better. The load times are super quick and the frame rate is stable. So it's not like choppy. It hits 60 pretty often. The only thing is, since it didn't get like a upgrade, the graphics are still poopy.
Muddy.
They're
Clay
still,
fighter.
they're very the graphics are ugly, but it's much more playable now than it was on the Switch 1.
That's cool. Very, very cool. Well, you're seeing my footage of Tony Hawk. And so I actually did a written review up on n64josh.com of Tony Hawk. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I will preface that by saying I am a huge sucker for Tony Hawk 3. So even if it was only Tony Hawk 3 and even if it was only the airport level, I would still buy and play this game because there is a section there where you can just basically go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. In fact, I'll just fast forward the footage a bit so you guys can see, because I got a little stubborn in the suburbs and had to hit a 200,000 high score. And so here's this section right here. You guys will see it. And I was like, you have to go through this X-ray to get to this area. But then once you do, it's like you can go around the baggage conveyor or whatever, but then you can just hit these rails and you just go around. And when you don't fall like I did there, you go up one side and then come right back down and do the other, and you just keep
amazing.
going.
You're doing amazing here.
Well, just I like it's been 20 years since I put a lot of time into
more than 20 years.
I say Project or Underground or Project 8 or something like that was maybe the last one I played.
Yeah, the one on
I
Xbox
played
360
was Downhill Jam, and I know that's not really the same thing.
That was a Wii game, right?
Yeah.
I really like these, like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, or I played that. Like they remade those a couple of years ago, and now they have 3 and 4. I really like these. Like I said, I've been playing this as well, and it's super fun. You can play as Doom Guy, and you can play as Mikey from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's not money locked or anything.
It is. It doesn't take that long. Like, I only played a couple hours and I was able to unlock it.
No, it's just an unlock, not money locked.
No. It's not real money locked. It's in-game money locked. There's
Okay.
a lot, dude. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to unlock in this game.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
It's on Game Pass. I have it pre-installed. It'll be playable here in a little bit. Not chilling as hard as you guys.
And it runs well. So I made a video about this yesterday about how I'm still shocked that these third-party games on Nintendo Switch 2 are running as well as they are. Like Cyberpunk, Street Fighter.
Is this the first Xbox game on Switch?
The first
Switch
it's
2 at least?
Activision, I believe so.
I mean, on the Switch 2 probably, but you have like Grounded and Pentiment.
True. Yeah.
On the Switch 1. I'm hoping Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 get a Switch 2 update. Upgrade.
Well, and there's still like a digital deluxe version of those games on the eShop, and then the standard version as well. So I was like, I have the Series X version of 1 and 2, so I'm just like, that's good enough. The ones I love, like 3 is what I mean, I loved 1. I played it on my 64. I actually had a small like fraction of time where I played PC, and I basically played Aliens versus Predator and Tony Hawk 2. That's where but I couldn't get a good controller to work on my gaming computer. So I was like, eventually just gave up on it. Nate also said Tony Hawk 3 was one of the last 64 games. I have all 3 Tony Hawks from 64. The first game is a blue cart, the second is a yellow, and the third one is a black cart. So it's kind of cool.
You know what they should do? Put them on the 64 NSO.
Well, and 3 is a GameCube game. That's where I play. Like I tweeted a picture of the GameCube controller saying I can't wait to play with this lucky charm of a D-pad again, and because that's what I used to play. That's what I used to play this game with. Like I got to the point with this section that you're seeing right here that I could go for. I want to say, like,
how do you? So I was talking about the sparks. How do you do the sparks thing?
So I think it's a special grind.
That's just
that
a special
may be
grind.
exclusive to Jamie Thomas, and I think everybody has like, their own special move. I don't know if that's what his. It does this cool, like it kind of
the backside
turns,
Benny finger flip. Crooked.
It's just a special. Okay.
And you have your special meter when it fills up. So
what's cool about like Doom Guy has his own special tricks, and they're like Doom specific. So that's cool. And then there's also the Revenant from Doom. That one you don't even have to unlock them, it's just there.
Yeah. You can see it at the bottom of the screen there. So here's what I will say about this game, and you can go read my review. I'm working on the video review as well, but like I do wish it was priced a little lower as a remake. It's like you feel like you're paying like brand new AAA price for a remake, which, don't get me wrong, it's really fun, but it was a bit of a hard pill to swallow. Like seeing like $76 leave my account for this, you know what I mean?
That's like, their subliminal message to be like, get Game Pass and an Xbox. Get Game Pass.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong.
The standard edition is 60. Is that what we
70 or no 6?
Deluxe is 70 because I paid 70.
Yeah, I was just in the eShop looking at it. It's either 50 or 60. I don't remember what it was.
Because I think 1 and 2 was only 40. When that came out.
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah. So it's just a little bit of sticker shock, honestly. Like, see, even Brian said 76. Nope.
Once I see that $79.99 price tag, anything under it's a discount.
Here we go. Wow. Keep licking them boots, buddy.
Tastes good.
With we've been playing so much Mario Kart, and when you guys are playing Tony Hawk, do you wish in Mario Kart that the grind mechanic had like a balancing mechanic to it, or do you like that it just automatically has you grinding on the rail completely fine.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because you could grind on a rail for as long as you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, a balancing mechanic would make it more technical, I guess.
There's already
Now-
so much
now
to
I-
watch out for though in Mario Kart. I feel
Yeah.
like
This
Now
is
you got me thinking. Like, I wish they had a mode like this in Mario Kart where you do like try to get high scores and
all
do
I can
challenges.
all I can think of is the later Tony Hawk's where you could hop off your board. I want that in Mario Kart to get out and get to some of the places like
Yeah, just have Wario and Waluigi just like spray painting stuff and
yeah.
well, Nate and I were chatting about
50
this.
and 70 is the price, Johnny.
50. Okay, 50.
Okay,
So it's
Well,
not
that's
60.
that's a little better. That's a
Well, what do
little
you
better.
get for the $20? All right, I don't want to go into this, but like I don't know what you get for $20. You get 3-day early access and then like Doom Guy.
There's downloadable content that's like bundled with it. I don't know.
Yeah, there's like
Deluxe
4 different
edition.
things you download, I think.
Oh, so Doomslayer and Revenant are included in the deluxe.
So I was chatting with Nate about what you guys are talking about. How like in Tony Hawk, remember you can play like horse and like, and there's
Yeah.
almost like a Splatfest or a
Yeah.
like
like,
if that was in
honestly,
Mario
Oh
Kart,
yeah,
it
paint
would
the
be-
park or whatever it was
yeah.
called.
If you could, what I feel like with Mario Kart, like the open world, I love it. I was just talking to Jasmine about it. Like we just keep doing all the P switches and everything. Like we're having a great time doing that. But if there was in the open world a way to gamify it where it's not just being there in the open world together, but you're, if it was like a single capture the flag, and then once you hit that person, you take the flag from them. It's like Shine Runner kind of thing, but like more in the or just some kind of open world style game, like even like horse or whatever the case may be. Like do this trick and whatever like I feel like it would be a great addition. Like great
Oh,
addition.
thanks for showing that hidden deck. Now I know how to get it.
Oh yeah, no problem.
I've said it
You
before.
also murdered somebody a little while ago and like buried him in
Well,
snow.
yeah, no, that was one of the challenges. You bury the bully.
All right. Well, this is you guys actually kind of gave us a bit of a natural segue here. We're gonna jump into topic number 1, which is how are we feeling 1 month into the launch of Switch 2?
There's no games. All right, sorry.
Ha, 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 ha. Well, I've had some interesting conversations this last week. Like, I've had a number of people talk to me about Mario Kart. I've seen a number of tweets from people about Mario Kart, how they're like, yeah, I'm done. Johnny, you said you were like,
Yeah, I took a break because I got all the characters and I did a lot of the piece. I still have P switches and stuff to do, but like I'm just waiting for more content at this point.
and some of the complaints I'm hearing is that it's too difficult, like that it's not as easy, which this is going to tie in a lot into topic number 3 later. So remember that when we get there in case I forget. But I'm at a place right now where I started doing time trials a little more serious, and the dopamine hits that I am getting from beating my ghost by like 0.2 milliseconds, whatever, like I couldn't be having more fun with.
It's also
with the
because you're
game.
getting to race all 3 laps on a course. Hey, what how fun is that?
That's you're not wrong. We did on stream today. We did 3-lap races as well, and yes, it is more fun. It doesn't. I don't want to take away from Knockout Tour, but like,
No, knockout. That's the thing. Knockout Tour is its thing, but online. Whoop! I'm getting heated. Online just needs to be like they have online or offline Grand Prix, and they forced us into the intermission, and that's fine. Whatever it is, but online races just need to be traditional 3-lap races in the same course. Like you don't get to have fun with like seeing somebody else take a unique line and then wanting to mimic that in the next 2 laps, or it's just all of a sudden you're in part of Boo Cinema and it's like, oh, you get to do 3/4 of the lap and then you're done. Like it's not fun. That they're almost taking away from the stuff that is the best part of the game.
Well, I would say even with Boost Cinema, like that is probably one of the better tracks in this game. But even if it was 3 laps, I don't think it would be like one of the greatest tracks in Mario Kart because it's too short. Like they have a really cool idea, but they could do so much more with that track. And just all the
and
tracks
they could use some of the outlying area and come up with a unique like 3-lap course, but the point A to point B is kind of, I guess that was a bad example. Boo Cinema like actually almost takes part of what's the SNES course on the docks.
Oh, it does all 3: Ghost Valley 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, Ghost Valley. So I mean, that one's a little bit better in the surrounding area, but still, it's a lot of just the straight shots that are not fun.
But what I'm hearing you guys say is essentially they could put Ghost Valley 1, 2, and 3 as a single lap and then push us into Cinema, similar to Peach Gardens on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where it's like you're going one way and then you come back out and go another. Like they could incorporate one of those tracks into a lap, put us back into the Cinema, come back out, do another. Like they have the know-how.
Does Rainbow Road get play on online courses? Do you pretty much have to be in Peach Castle or whatever?
No, it would be so when you're in Worldwide, if you do when the tracks come up, you've got 3 tracks. If it doesn't have a line running from one track to the other, it's a single track, and that's how Rainbow Road would be. Just by itself. So yeah, I heard Nintendo voice chat was saying, one of the guys on there was like, why don't they make a 4 glory mode that's just racing 3 laps, just like how Smash has a 4 glory mode? And I'm like, well, I like that idea, but to even piggyback off of it, they literally let us play Smash the way we want to. And they
items,
don't
no
care.
items. Okay,
yes, yeah. And then they're with Mario Kart World, they're forcing it to be. Now, the other thing that I've been thinking, and I heard them mention it as well, but I do wonder if the DLC coming out is like, there's going to be a reason for them wanting to push the straightaways, because it may have something to do with the DLCs. Even still, just give us the other mode. Like, their
marketing department needs to be fired.
Oh,
well, they've just done a horrible job marketing this game, like selling it to the players as to why it's A, an $80 title, B, why you don't get to play it how you want. Oh, you guys found a way around how the non-desirable parts of this game. We're going to patch that out. You have to play it how we want you to play it. And they don't have a message. They don't have a good messaging strategy to kind of talk about it or give clues about anything coming in the future.
Well, life will find a way. And Shortcat, he's a big Mario Kart YouTuber, set up a Discord that literally every 2 minutes somebody else is setting up a custom room. And in custom rooms, you can do 3-lap races. And so people are walking away from like Worldwide and just going into customs and doing
which
it
is
that
better
way.
than the alternative, which is a lot of competitive players went back to 8.
Yeah. And Cryptic says playing competitive Mario Kart, even though it's not it's not perfect, it really energized my love for World. The update really discouraged me to continue playing even after giving it a solid try. And I even jumped into just Worldwide tonight. Just even for one, I just did one race. I got second place. I just wanted to get some more points essentially. And again, it was 2 straight lines and then 1 lap on the track. And it's just, it is frustrating. Like there's no question. Cause it's just not. Mario Kart has been 3 laps for 30 plus years. So don't take that away. It's just a weird, it's like, I don't know if you guys have watched 8-Bit Christmas, but it's like the one rich kid with the Nintendo is like, you guys are only going to get to play what I decide, you know? And that's what this feels like. It's like, why are you like, your community is falling, is walking away from this because you're like strong arming the way you think we should play it, when we just want to have fun with for the $50 to $80 that we spent on this, you know? So it's just a strange thing.
I mean, I get what you guys are saying. Like, I do like the straightaways just because it hasn't been done before, and I think it is trying to like set itself apart from other Mario Karts. But yeah, it would be kind of nice if there were the straightaways, and then if it did go into a 3-lapped course, and then after that 3rd lap, it pushes you in a direction to where you are moving on to the next course.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that would have been. And when you have 3-lap races like Mario Circuit, that literally the time trial on that is like 1 minute and 4 seconds
for all 3 laps.
For all 3 laps, like, because it's a point A to point B race. You do each of the classic Mario Circuit tracks from Super Nintendo, and then that's it. It takes 1 minute and 5 seconds. I mean, for the world record, but that could be done 3 times. Even that by itself could be done 3 times. It's that short, you know? So I want to jump back a bit here, because again, how are we feeling about the launch of the Switch? We're 1 month in. We're a week away from the next big first party release. And then the other question is, what would have made the launch perfect for you? And some of this comes from like watching Johnny's videos and watching him just be like, yo, I need something else to play. But I do want to catch one comment from Nate here. And it says, I loved the Tony Hawk games, but it's really hard to recapture those feelings from back then. And I do want to comment on this. The Switch 2, especially with Tony Hawk, Street Fighter, Mario Kart, this feels to me like the most GameCube era launch that we've had in quite some time. Meaning that like the Switch 1's launch was great. Don't get me wrong. It was all these new first parties. We're playing Splatoon. We're playing Mario Kart. We're playing Zelda. But like, we're playing Tony Hawk right now. Like, we're talking about Tony Hawk that like, this game is from like what 2004 or something like that. Like and it has recaptured that feeling for me. I'm having like, the reason I'm like, you know, I'm going to pull the trigger on this game is because I wanted to recapture that feeling, and it did. 1 and 2 for Tony Hawk, I have nostalgia for them. They're great. 3 is like where I lived. Like, I loved the airport just so much. And so jumping back in to this, it did a pretty great job. And if you have Game Pass, I mean, I think you'll understand what I'm saying. And I will say this about the Pro controller, the D-pad and but like, I put the thing through I put it through its paces, and I love this controller. I didn't actually play with the GameCube controller because that D-pad is a Lucky Charm. So, even playing Johnny tonight and just I got destroyed in Street Fighter, and it was a blast. And it's what it's doing for me is it's recapturing those moments of like the Super Nintendo was my fight, like where I really got into fighting games, Street Fighter, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat, all that kind of stuff. And like to be able to play the most recent Street Fighter again, and then jump into Tony Hawk, and then move over into Mario Kart, like I'm eating well right now. That's how I feel anyway. I know that's not the case for everybody, and I don't expect that to be, but like I'm like super content with this launch, and really excited for Donkey Kong. And if I hadn't played Tony Hawk, we'd be having a different conversation right now. It's like I'm loving Mario Kart, and I'm going hard on it, and I haven't even got to play Cyberpunk yet because I wanted to play it on my new TV, and it doesn't work on that TV right now. The TV updated, and I can't even play it. So I'm like, I've been waiting to like, I want to experience it on the OLED. I have my headphones ready to go, like my Corsair headphones. It was like I was ready to rock and roll, and I get this weird message on the TV that says invalid input or invalid output or something, and I was like, or invalid format, and I'm like, what is this? This isn't real life. Like, what is going on right now? And so, but after playing Tony Hawk, I think as gamers, we oftentimes want to recapture those feelings of the past, like the good old days, if you will. And I feel like I'm living in the good old days right now, and it's a good feeling, and it makes me really happy. So, but Johnny, I want to kick it over to you. Like 1 month in, how you feeling, and then what would have made it a perfect launch for you?
Yeah, so I think I don't know. I was talking about how I think they should have released something alongside Mario Kart with like something Nintendo related alongside Mario Kart, because I'm frustrated. I'm kind of over Mario Kart right now because like I did what I wanted to do, and
Sure.
I just want to, I'm not really into the competitive Mario Kart, so I'm not trying to do time trials or anything like that. But I would have loved to have like Donkey Kong to like kind of alternate on and off, because personally my the games that I enjoy are Nintendo games, right? Like I do enjoy other games, but for the most part the things that I actually beat and play longer than a couple hours are Nintendo games. So I have been having fun with Tony Hawk. It is definitely a nostalgia hit for me as well. Street Fighter was super fun to play tonight as well. That's a great game. But I just want something new from Nintendo. And I know it's only like a month, and it's only going to be a month and a half, and we'll have a week. We only have a week until Donkey Kong. So I'm just being impatient, but I don't know. I just feel like they should have had something else besides Mario Kart, because you can't just play Mario Kart all the time. At least not me.
I'm gonna comment on that, because I think there's a bit to unpack right there. If you go and read the interviews that they did with the devs, they believe, or in their minds, they didn't create 32 tracks. They created over 200 tracks, right? Then you look at the open world, you look at the amount of P-switches, the amount of medallions, the amount of content. And I think at the end of the day, Nintendo looked at Mario Kart and said, this is a massive game. It's why we're going to charge $80. And I think they just kind of missed, they didn't quite have their finger on the pulse of the gamer, right? Because like spacing out Donkey Kong a month, they were like, oh, it's going to give people plenty of, like, when we're as hungry as we were for a new Mario Kart, we're going to play it till we get bored. Like, yeah, you're like what you're saying, you didn't play it till to completion, but you completed what you wanted. Would you get through mirror mode, or at least get it unlocked?
Yeah. I got mirror mode unlocked. I got all the characters unlocked. I got all the costumes unlocked. I did like 250 P-switches. I just need a break. Like, I'll definitely go back to it. It's not like I'm done with it. It's just I need a break from Mario Kart.
But do you guys see what I'm saying? How, like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still just people making these decisions at these companies, right? Like,
yeah,
sometimes it's suit and ties, and they don't always know what they're doing. They're making financial decisions, which then we see companies get shut down. Perfect Dark, just to give a quick little nod to that, and like, there's going to be times that they miss it. They miss the mark. And I think they like, when you go from giving your
they
community,
oversold the game.
But I think they truly believed in what they were selling at the same time, right? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
Doug,
look
Doug
at them
Bowser
as like,
going on that press tour, like the press junket, and like, oh, tomorrow's direct is really going to show you why this is an $80 game. No, it didn't. Not at all.
But that's what I'm saying. I think they believed that. I think they were looking at this going, they're going to spend so many hours unlocking stickers. And don't get me wrong, like I was even talking to Jasmine about it tonight. I'm like, how is this looking for these stickers? So I finally found
Give me a
my
checklist
sticker.
and I'll have fun doing it. Give me a checklist and I would want to complete the checklist. But I have no clue where any of this crap is. And I don't want to just wander around. The only thing that's nice is that each of those courses has a check mark to get 5 or 6 question blocks done. And that's the only dopamine you get from that. Otherwise, it's random stickers that just pop up in your thing. And it's like, okay, but give me a checklist that says this P-switch is left in this area. Go find it, or I don't know, something. They need to update the game.
I don't know why they had just the question mark blocks indicated. Like, why would you not have there's like so many P switches in this area, or so many peach coins in this area? Because I have no idea where the peach coins are. Like, those are very difficult.
How many are in each area? 2, 1, 5? Like,
you don't even. Yeah, we don't really know.
No,
like, some are on the outskirts. You know.
Also, it feels like Korok sees, right? I don't think they want you to do whatever it is, 350 P switches, 200 peach coins, maybe the question mark blocks, but like, I don't think they expect you to find them all, at least not within a month of the game release.
What I'm finding is really fun is when you start the game and you're in some random area and then you see a P-switch that you haven't done yet. And then you jump into free roam and you knock it out real quick. And then you see another couple like, you know, I think that's great. I'm looking at
then
chat.
That just adds to the chaos of what you have complete.
Yeah. I mean, we do know the number finally. It's like 394. And I think I'm sitting at like 278 or something for P-switches. But
I guess I haven't even looked at. I'm gonna boot it out. I don't even know what I'm sitting at right now on any of that stuff.
MH Real says, keep in mind, a ton of people haven't even played the game yet, so there's a lot of people need to catch up. You know, a lot of people need to catch up. Like I would agree.
Yeah,
I mean, the console is getting restocked this week. I think on some places I was seeing.
This is totally impatience for me. I understand that there's a lot of things to do that I haven't done. I understand that not everybody has the game yet, but like, for their hardcore fans, people that buy it day one, they should have I don't know, like, why don't we have an update yet? Like, why didn't we get an update a month in?
We did get an update. They said play our game how we want you to play it.
Well, I mean, like a content update. Like, why didn't we get it? Why are they dead silent now? Like, they had the Donkey Kong Direct how many weeks ago, and then they're just like silent. You have a brand new console that's selling extremely well, and you're not talking about it. Like, they should have had a Direct this week. Where's that Direct? We don't know when anything's coming out.
It's gonna be an interesting time for Nintendo fans as we truly get third-party support and how it all plays out.
But I saw a video from Beat 'em Ups, and he did a little bit of a deeper dive into, like, he's a big physical collector, and he bought all the physical games at launch. And he dove into, like, Nintendo is like sabotaging these third parties from doing a physical release, because Puyo Puyo should not be a game key card, but the smallest option for the cart is 64 gigs, and so it cuts into your profits by almost $15 by having to buy the 64 gig cart. So Puyo Puyo as was it a $40 game, Johnny? You bought it, right?
Yeah, it's 40.
So $40
as a $40 game,
yeah,
they are forced pretty much by Nintendo, if they want to be on retailers' shelves, to do the game key card, even though the game is only like 5 gigs. So they're forced by just capitalism that they need to do the game key card. And when I was at Walmart the other day, I don't know if it's by happenstance or if it was just clever how they designed. I think maybe Nintendo knows, or the developers know how games are displayed in stores. The band on the bottom of the cart or the box is behind the pressure mount in the case, so you can't even see that it's a game key card unless you know, or until you get it and call an employee over and get it pulled out. And so it's a whole bait and switch.
And it's,
So
I mean,
I feel like they're sabotaging third parties a little bit because they want to force people into buying digital is what they want, because they get higher profits.
do you so like with Tony Hawk, the Switch 2 version, as far as I'm aware, is only digital. You can buy a box that has a code in it. There's not even a game key card for this one, which
That's Xbox making up for how many people they laid off. I mean, I don't know.
well, but that's also, I mean, Doom Eternal was only digital.
Let's see how big it is.
Yeah,
Let's
that
see
was
how
too.
big it is.
It's 40 gigs.
Oh, so it would fit on the 64.
Yeah, it would fit, but I mean, Microsoft is profits over everything, right? I mean, all these companies are. It's a business. So I want to grab Grumpy Goomba's comment here. It says the Switch 2 upgrades for the Zelda games make them feel like a totally new game, and I agree. Combine that with stuff the app does to help you get 100%, and it's totally worth playing again. So
hey, they know people want 100% stuff and checklist stuff.
Puyo Tetris. Yeah, they should just update the app for Mario Kart World. Puyo Tetris is only 3.1 gigs.
Yeah.
It is smaller than ARMS.
Well, and the strange thing is Tony Hawk 3 and 4 have a physical cart if you buy the Switch 1 version.
Really? And
yes.
well,
From everything I've seen, like, I mean, you guys can double check me, because I was trying to like watch quite a few videos on this game and listen to, the reviews and what people, and from everything that I've watched is that, yeah, so I just bought it digitally because I'm like, I don't need a empty plastic box on my shelf. There's no.
I haven't bought like, the only game I'm leaning towards buying physically right now is Cyberpunk. I have it on my PC, but my PC's getting dated a little bit now, and I don't know if I want to play it there. But like, I do want to see kind of what they've done. They have mouse controls in there, so kind of play around with it a little bit. But that is mainly just to save space on, because I haven't bought an SD card yet.
I have something that I just discovered.
What's up?
That I did not realize. Rune Factory, not a key card, right?
Right.
You have to install a 12 gig update. I'm looking on on my Switch 2 storage right now.
Well, and
12 gigs.
Yeah, and Tony Hawk 3 and 4 on Switch 1 has a download accompanied with the cart. So it could be
all that stuff is BS anyway. The whole game key card, non-game key card, like if I didn't know that. That makes it seem grosser to me in a way. Like
Cyberpunk is 2 gigs after the cart is in. Is all.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah,
none of these games, if the eShop goes over, the shop goes down and you have to re-download it, none of them will work. To whatever, like I'm assuming the Rune Factory is the Switch 1 version on the cart, because you can use that cart on the Switch 1, but then you have to download a 12 gigabyte Switch 2 upgrade. That sucks, man.
I think I'm very conflicted on how I feel about the Switch just a month in, because I don't know. I go back and forth on Mario Kart and if I think it should have been a launch game, because yeah, I mean, it did really well on Switch 1, but it is a party game. And I mean, if you're a gamer and you're playing strictly Mario Kart, like I have had a ton of fun with it, but it just you've already played these tracks so many times over and over that it's like it's not the same as the Switch one where we got Breath of the Wild, where yeah, I mean, I guess you could beat that game in what 6 hours or something. I don't know what the fastest time is you can beat that game, but
Who beat it in 6 hours? Like
I'm
initially,
I'm sure there's someone.
normies are not doing that. They're beating it in 50 hours.
No, well, that's what I'm saying though, is like there's so much that you can do in that game. And I do think that they were trying to do that with Mario Kart World and with the P switches and the medallions and all of that. But it's just it doesn't have that same feeling as Breath of the Wild. The other part of it is it's is Mario Kart World the only new game that we have just like across Switch 2? And I mean like I'm sure there's indies out there, but like was there any other
Rune
big
Factory is new,
that's new?
and I guess you could technically say I mean, this is a remake. I know it's a
Yeah,
remake,
so I don't
but
I mean I don't
yeah,
know.
I
Like
mean,
it
we
just
don't have. Yeah, you're right. We don't have like any new games,
feels
right?
like you got Breath of the Wild, and then I would even count Snipper Clips as a new game. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
at
Yeah.
least
No,
it
I
gave you
agree. We got Welcome Tour.
variety.
What the heck are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I haven't played it yet.
But you bought it though, because you got to shill.
No,
If you don't shill,
I still haven't, but I'm looking. I'm actually the more I see on it online, I'm like, oh, these are kind of like fun little facts that I think I would like to learn. Like if that is part of the game, and you get to learn about like Nintendo's history at the same time, like I'm kind of interested. But it's just weird to
it's a
me. Like
cup of
this is a
coffee.
brand new console, but they are not treating it like it's a brand new console. They are just treating it like as it's the next generation or the next version of the Switch.
which
Yeah,
is
I
what
think
we
as a-
asked. Which is what we asked for. But I mean, I think we wanted. I'm on board with what Johnny said. I think consoles do better with a 3D mascot platformer. And we even if they, I think Mario Kart has its place. It's great. It's a good palate cleanser or whatever. It would have been good to have, because just the community running through it has shined a light on all these issues that we're having. And if there was something else to kind of distract the bulk of the community, maybe it wouldn't have been as negative about it. But I mean, Donkey Kong, I spent 15-20 minutes at Walmart when I was there last week.
Oh, wait,
and I played the demo.
You're still
and
like kicking kids out of the way.
great.
It's my time. Get out
It
of
was
here.
the middle of the day. Nobody was there. I was just the adult sitting in the aisle playing. But
I
yeah,
brought
it's
a
great.
3-year-old with me who wouldn't give me a turn.
I'm excited for it. So, but again, it's a game I'm going to buy digitally probably, which sucks.
Well, why are you buying digitally?
Because I don't.
That one should all be on the cart.
I have
That
all
one we
these Switch.
shouldn't
I
have
have
the
all these
issue.
Switch games back here, and I don't want Switch 2 cases messing
The
it up.
Switch 2
'cause
cases,
I'm not
they
gonna-
look so much better.
I'm not going to
And,
buy that many of them. Like
I'm the physical guy now. Nice.
you are.
There we go. I got.
Dude, I am pissed now. I didn't realize those Switch 2 non-game key cards, like some like
Well, this
you
isn't
still have to
new.
download stuff.
This isn't new. This happened on. I mean, go through your Switch library. Almost every single
does it
game.
say it?
Almost every single game has some kind of.
Update required.
Yeah, and in some of those cases, I mean, Gears, Breath of the Wild, they all have a couple gigs worth of data downloaded. Like that's just par for the course at this point. So it doesn't surprise me. But like I walked in, I've always got my Nintendo shirts on. I was in Starbucks yesterday and the guy was like, "Oh, I need to get a Switch too, but I heard you don't own anything when you buy it." And I'm like, yo, the internet is crazy, right? Like,
Yeah, you don't own the system at all.
Well,
it's
they can brick it.
yeah.
They start
I
bricking
guess
consoles, and then we can talk about it. But like, it's only going to be people that break their TOS. Like, it's not. They're not just going to randomly brick your console.
Yeah, it's them trying to fight that card that you put an SD card in. And you have all the ROMs in it or whatever.
yeah, for sure. I do want to mention too.
Ubisoft makes you delete your game now if they take.
Oh, that's there was the
What?
they want you to not only delete your game but terminate or like destroy
like
your
burn
physical
it.
media.
Yeah, you gotta like destroy your game if it goes off their shop or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, their new user agreement says if it goes like if they take it off, if it's not available for purchase anymore or like it's not available anywhere, you have to destroy your copy.
Just wild. Welcome Tour also, when it hits into the 120 stuff, will stop working on my TV right now as well.
Oh.
So
there needs to be variable refresh rate stuff on the settings for Switch. Is there not?
well, you can turn off a switch on the Switch too. You can turn it off to say no 120, and then I think everything works. But the whole point of some of those mini games in Tour is to show off
120.
Yeah, it made me take my console out of and play handheld to see something in 120 hertz.
Yeah. So
somebody asked about battery life. I just wanted to bring that up. It's not good.
No, I was on a plane. I could only play for half the flight.
Yeah, wow. I would say if you're playing a game like that's intensive, like Street Fighter or Cyberpunk, you're getting maybe 2 hours.
Same as Mario Kart. Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. So when they do a revision, like I hope they address that because it's.
And I'm willing to bet that part of the reason for the bigger screen was to fit a bigger battery, and that it still wasn't. It's still not enough. And I mean, I don't feel like, personally, when I think about it, I'm like, look, we're getting what we asked for. Like, how do you expect to run a game like this and then have like 10-hour battery life? Like, you know how heavy that thing would be or how thick it would have to be.
Yeah, does it play nicely with power banks or anything?
There are companies, I think it may be Genki or Power A. One of them is selling a Switch case that comes with a power brick as well. So you have some options that way. So okay, do you guys?
I'm still waiting on my Genki order for my case and my screen protector.
Like, it's been a month. Wait too long. You're gonna get scratches. Do you guys feel like we've covered topic 1? Should we move into topic?
We're an hour in
2?
and we've only done topic 1.
Yeah. I think we're ready. Let's hit topic number 2. All right. With the mid-gen cycle launch, right? So Switch 2 comes out in the middle or even near the end of PS5, Xbox Series X, right? Do you guys think we're going to end up like the Switch 2 is going to end up like the Switch 1 when it comes to third-party support? Like, do you guys think the gap is going to then grow again so far? And I'll preface that with, Tony Hawk, although it stays at a pretty solid 60 most of the time, one of the videos I watched on it today, like it did dip to like 45 and stayed there for a little bit. The cutscenes or the scenes when you're like, go and find skate and all, that's all in 30. So it is a little bit jarring when it then jumps back to 60 and then you start skating. But then also Street Fighter, not looking as good. But I mean, as Johnny and I played it tonight, and I'll put the footage on right now. And keep in mind, the footage is a little like I had the wrong setting on my OBS, so it's not the best.
He doesn't want to show footage. It because he got whooped.
No, I have no problem showing it. Believe me. But like, I was honestly kind of impressed by Street Fighter putting more time into it and sitting down and playing the way I was like, This is kind of impressive, honestly.
Yeah, I think what they did. So I saw something where they the arenas. There's usually like stuff in the background,
Mm.
and they took some stuff out of the background of the arenas to make it run smoother. But I think it looks good. Like I I didn't play it on a different like platform, but it looks pretty good. It runs well. Like I don't think the frames drop,
No,
isn't it?
I'm fairly certain. I don't even know how people test this stuff, right? Like some of these people have. I kind of want to
There was
look
a frame
into it.
stutter, or that might have been the video, but
It's probably the video because when we were playing, I don't think it stuttered really.
I didn't notice any lag or like anything, honestly. Like it was a very smooth experience. I really had a good time, even though I was getting destroyed. So, and I will say for the very first match, my controller was not set to the right setting, so I was literally hitting buttons that did nothing most of the time. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to come back, and then I still got destroyed.
As we kept playing, we got closer and
I got a little more competitive. Yeah, I got a few wins in there. After your 5-win streak, I finally got
a 5-win streak, and then I got whooped. I forget who I changed to.
He made sure to tell me about his 5-win streak.
So, in regards to how we'll feel in 8 years, is it similar to Switch One? Is that kind of your question?
Well, more like 4 years. Like after the launch of, because let's say the new Call of Duties.
We don't even have the first. We don't even have Call of Duty yet.
Right?
Are we getting Black Ops 7 or what are we getting this year?
Hopefully. But I mean, are we going to be? Will you guys? And this question kind of is for us. It's not an entirely fair question because we're not just a single console household most of the time. Cheesy might be like you might stay that way, who knows? I don't know, but like, maybe Cheesy kick us off. Like, are you going to be looking at the other consoles and going, I think I need to pull the trigger because I want to see 8K gaming like the PlayStation 5 promised or something along those lines?
I don't know if I need to see 8K gaming. I think it's probably all just depends on the IP that comes out. I mean, I got really close to even just buying a PS5 for Astrobot just because the game looked so much fun. And then on top of that, I could play on Insomniac games.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess it really depends on what is shown for me to pull the trigger on another console or on a third-party console.
I see. Okay. So
I'm really excited for, like, we just found out that NBA 2K is feature parity now. Like, I guess it wasn't on the Switch One. Like, I guess the Switch
make sure you have all 200 gigs available.
Yeah. And then we're getting
just for audio.
Then we're getting Madden, so I'm excited for Madden. I think that's feature parity. So as long as we're getting the features, like all the features in third-party games, like I'm excited. And yeah, I don't know what's going to happen when we get these more. Because right now, like Cyberpunk is how old? It was on the PlayStation 4.
That was COVID, so 5 or 6 years old now.
Yeah, and it was on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And then I don't remember if Street Fighter 6 was, but we're not getting like brand new third-party games. So what happens, like when we got Mortal Kombat 1 on the Nintendo Switch 1, that was day and date with the other versions, and it was garbage.
And it was it was not feature parodied as well. It was missing that off it was missing something that the PS5 and Xbox versions had. I forget what it was. I think it was some online challenge rooms or something like that.
Or like crit.
The crit. Yeah, something. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if 4 years down the line we're getting third-party games that are like that, that's gonna suck.
Do you think Dusk Bloods is like kind of a test to see how like the Nintendo audience reacts to it? And then if they will put new third-party games on Switch 2?
Potentially. I'm kind of surprised Bandai Namco didn't have Elden Ring ready to go at launch.
Yeah, when's that coming out?
Does that have a date?
No.
No, and Cryptic asks a good question here too. Says like we have games like RE9 early next year, not announced for Switch 2. Even stuff like Gears, Helldivers 2, not coming to Switch 2. And this is kind of back to the last topic a little bit because I forgot to mention it at the end. But like, if Doom, Dark Ages, and Monster Hunter had also launched with Switch 2, like, I think there'd be different conversations as well. Even though those are older games, like Doom
They're
was
only
like
like a couple months old. It wasn't
Monster
like-
Hunter wasn't that old, but I don't even know how big Monster. I could turn on my PlayStation and find out how big Monster Hunter is, but
or
like-
even Elden Ring, Night Rain. If Elden Ring works on the Switch 2, Night Rain would work on the Switch 2. So I don't know why they didn't bring that.
but maybe it's a sign of what if the future of Switch 2 is anything that played on essentially the Xbox One or the PS4, but not much more than that going forward. Like, the other thing is, I'm assuming with the technology that like the DLSS and that kind of stuff, I think it's going to give opportunity for more to happen this time around. Like, it's a beefier system than Switch 1, and it's also using, like, I don't want to use the term future-proof technology, and I'm not like a big nerd on this kind of stuff, so I don't want to say anything that's like untrue, but like my assumption is that games will continue to be able to run on Switch 2 and not have to be put into the play fighter mode in order for that to happen, even if they're newer games. And I think when we finally see Madden, you know, I was really hoping that the show was going to have a Switch 2 update at launch, you know.
Yeah.
PlayStation doesn't care that much about it. Monster
buy
Hunter
it
Wilds
this
is
year.
55 gigs on PlayStation. So, I mean, it would be sizable on Switch. I think it probably could run, but and this is a industry-wide problem. Like, compression, like storage and compression needs to get advanced a little bit, because we cannot keep up with 60, 70 gig titles with the minimal space, even though it's 200. We launched with 256. What does the OS take up? Does anybody did they say what true free space was on the Switch?
I don't know.
I mean, the OS isn't that big, so I don't think it would be that much. But, I mean, PlayStation launches with less than a terabyte. Xbox has, I think, a terabyte. And then you're relying on either proprietary storage in the case of Xbox, or a little bit cheaper expandable M.2 drives for PlayStation. But then we're also dealing with this new limited technology with the micro SD Expresses that, I mean, I think they don't have many larger sizes of them, and they're very expensive right now in comparison to what we've gotten used to with either half a terabyte or a terabyte of just regular SD cards. We're getting down to less than $100 for a terabyte almost, and now we're back up to almost 80 for a quarter of a terabyte.
Yeah, I have a 512 or whatever. Is that the and I don't have a lot of space left, and I'm looking at it going, I have I trimmed a lot of the fat of as far as stuff that I'm like, I know I'm not going to play, so I'm going to take this off. But I'm going to be at the point here soon, probably after Donkey Kong or right around there, that like some stuff's going to have to go. That like, and then I have to. Well, and what's funny, when you buy a case, you buy a Switch 2 case. It did the same thing with Switch 1, but they give you these little tiny plastic cards so that you can put SD cards in them. And then you can get that feeling of switching out your game carts, because it's actually your SD cards that hold all your games. So
I guess I wonder if this conversation really matters, just because I feel like Nintendo's in a good spot with this being like a nostalgia machine, because today we don't even know if games are going to run, when they're brand new and when they're coming out, and like if they're having
real.
issues, or if they're even that great of a game. But if you go back and say play like, I know a lot of people like Red Dead Redemption 2, and that's going to be on Switch 2. Now you have it on the go as well. Like, people are going to love that. So maybe Nintendo doesn't.
That's not confirmed. That's not confirmed. Don't act like it's coming.
No, I didn't say it was. I'm just speculating that
You'll
it
get
could
yelled
be.
at.
But like, do they need the latest third-party game to compete with the other consoles?
No, but I would like it. I would like to be able to play some of these games. Like, imagine if it had. Well, I guess Clair Obscur is more of a indie-ish title, but like Clair Obscur.
But that game could run on Switch.
Yeah, bring that. Bring what else is coming out this year? Isn't Silent Hill like a remake? Or something like that?
I don't know. PlayStation's getting nothing, so
bring Ghost of Yote.
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, I think. So me and Cheesy were talking about this because I want to do some comparison videos. My iPhone can play Death Stranding, and that pretty much means it's coming to Switch 2. There's no doubt in my mind that Death Stranding, the first one at least, is coming to Switch 2.
I would assume the same thing.
And isn't Star Wars Outlaws coming to Switch too?
Yeah, Star Wars Outlaws is coming to Switch in August, but that's now it's a year old.
Yeah.
Where's Assassin's Creed? Where's I don't know. I think we need a direct.
We for sure need a direct.
Yeah.
I mean, after they get through the Donkey Kong launch, I'm sure we'll see something.
Well, I'm kind of wondering, will we get a direct like a day or two before the Donkey Kong Bonanza game? Because I feel like that could be like their last push to be like, hey, this is all the stuff you could do in Donkey Kong Bonanza, get it tomorrow or whatever, and then go into what like fall is going to bring, or even into 2026.
I think they got so much goodwill out of that last one. I don't think they need to do much. I think they sold a lot of people on the game, and the public demo is out in the kiosks. For some reason, they're, I think, afraid of data mining by putting it on private switches. But I think we'll see something the week after, and it will be, hey, Donkey Kong Bonanza skins for Pauline and Donkey Kong coming to Mario Kart today, and then they can go into more about Pokemon and is there anything else that's semi confirmed for the back half of the year? There's we need a release date for Metroid. We need
Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby Air Ride.
We have Kirby Air Riders. Okay, because Kirby in the Forgotten Land is coming out in August.
See if they talk about Splatoon Raiders at all.
Right.
I mean, I feel like they're so proud of their app. They need to get out and enjoy being in front of a lot of eyes on a direct and put a bunch of their stuff out there instead of they just shifted from Twitter announcements to stuff in the app, and it's lackluster. They're not. They used to control a conversation for a day, a week, for a while when they would do a direct, and the announcements, they would stagger them out a week or two after the direct of when stuff either became available or was available for pre-order or whatever. And now it's all just like, oh, I need to update this app because strikers got added, or there's just it's very. I'm not even checking the app. I'm almost seeing it announced somewhere else that it's available somewhere, and
that app
it's
is
weird.
useless.
I don't know. I'll go back and double down what I said. The marketing, whatever marketing firm or team they're using right now is not doing a great job.
I mean, it's working.
Is it though?
It's the fastest selling console ever.
That's because we were starved for 8 years.
That's the marketing. Starve them for 8 years.
Starve them out and then feed them on a $500 piece of steak and let them
make them wait 15 years for a new 3D Mario.
So I got Nate's comment on screen right now. It says, "Are we going to be saying ported to Switch 2 midlife?"
I'm already saying it.
Like with Switch 1, right? And so, but midlife. Remember how we kind of all stopped just after like Doom and stuff? And so,
yeah, maybe don't port these.
Yeah, maybe stop. You know,
I wonder if we don't live in a world where Switch is great if you're wanting to stick by with just kind of a single console, but it falls back into Nintendo exclusive stuff, and you get a ROG Ally Xbox edition because I think that's going to play Steam and like Xbox is moving to be the one system that will play everything. If the rumors are true for the next like actual box, it's going to play Steam, it's going to play Epic, it's going to play GOG, and then Xbox Store stuff as well
for $1,000.
And then the ROG Ally handheld or whatever, is maybe going to be like 900, but like who knows what that'll look like. I mean, I don't know.
Well, Cheesy has only one console and he hasn't bought any third-party games.
No, it's true. Well, I just haven't
what games have you gotten, Cheesy?
Mario Kart.
That's
like, it. Literally, that's it. I haven't had as much time as I used to, and kind of learning to adapt to that kind of lifestyle. I don't know. Well, to be fair, I guess it was kind of in the middle of like NBA season too, like the finals. So, I was spending a lot of time doing that. And then, when we do our podcast, it's just a lot. Like, I'm I guess figuring out what that life is like when you get off of work and you're like 9 to 5, and you have a little bit of time for yourself, but you also have stuff that you got to do with the family. And then, hopefully you find some downtime, but that's like maybe an hour. And I feel like for me, a third party game like Cyberpunk, for example, I mean, you're not going to get a lot of mileage out of that in one sitting.
You're not wrong.
Josh is getting no mileage out of it right now.
Hey, now, come on now. So you guys are gonna laugh at me. I was like, I kind of want to be ready for Pokemon Champions, right? Or Pokemon Championship or whatever it's called.
They're gonna shadow drop that during the direct.
And so I'm like, I'm gonna get the DLC for Pokemon. And then I went to go buy it and it said already purchased. I was like, oh, sweet. So I didn't have to buy it, but I definitely haven't.
Josh found $20 in his pocket. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, I think I literally looked at Jasmine and said, time for girl dinner. Or something.
That's the true shill thing to do. You gotta buy it without any intention of actually playing it.
I'm horrible. I actually
Bravely Default's sitting on my system right now, and I haven't played it.
Oh, I have everything. I have Puyo Puyo. I have Hitman. I have.
So, I had to Google it. Like, I have Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. I have the physical Switch 1 copy, and then it's like, what's it called? Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. Is that what it's called? I think all it did was add like a little bit of some multiplayer stuff. Why
does it not have an upgrade pack?
No.
Yeah, because they don't have one for Sonic either. That really annoys me. I'd have to buy Sonic Generations again
Yeah.
if I wanted to switch to upgrades.
Well, and Hogwarts was going to be the same way, and then they ended up changing their tune.
Well, WB wants live service money wherever they can get it.
Right, no doubt. Okay, topic number 3, and we have 10 minutes on this one. If we want to go for an hour and a half. Oh my god, these are getting out of hand. I'm gonna have to start doing 2 topics.
4 hours.
4 hours later. So
Nintendo Prime podcast coming this way.
Right. Yeah, exactly. All right. Topic number 3. Here we go. Which Strikers is best? Okay. So I'm gonna kick this off. I played Strikers on GameCube, and it is pure joy. It is arcadey goodness. All right.
Toad getting electrocuted.
Toad spinning on his head when he does a charge shot. Like it was fantastic.
D-Generation X motions from Waluigi.
Oh yes. Yeah, the crotch chop.
Yep.
And so I fired it up. Was like, oh yeah, this is really easy, right? That's and then I went back over to Battle. I put Battle League in, and I was like, okay, this game is not easy, and I feel like this. I kind of had an epiphany almost of like, there's a lot of times that we're like, yo, I would like this game to be more difficult, right? We talk about like Mario games, Mario Wonder, Odyssey, just as like examples. I wish this was more difficult. But what I think we have, if you look at what we saw on the Switch, Aces, more difficult. And people didn't like that as much. And then Nintendo actually nerfed that game and made it to where the moves were essentially less useful. And so I found that interesting, right? Battle League has the exact same amount of content, maybe more than Strikers, but it's a lot more difficult to master. Like, you can't just pick that game up and play it. And so then what happens if you use it as a party game, if you spend much time getting good at it, you can kind of destroy anybody that comes over to play it with you. So that's a problem. The online is about as intuitive as what Strikers is right now. And so do you guys think that the problem with these sports games is that they tried to move away from the arcadey feel, because the other complaint was this is just the same game in a different font, like every few years? It kind of puts them in a tough predicament, right? Where they're like, how do we not just become Madden, where it's like, this year's a running back year and this year's a defense year, and you know what I mean? Like how it kind of just changes based on who's on the cover.
What difficulty did you play on Strikers?
Oh, I'm not talking about like the difficulty against the computer. I'm talking about just the ease
control.
of pickup,
Mechanics.
the ease of pickup and play. Like you literally
Because I played on difficulty wise, I played the computer on like the second highest difficulty, which scares me to play on the higher 2 difficulties from that, because there were some that like really
I accidentally put it on the hardest difficulty. I thought it was the second hardest, but I must have pressed the wrong. I put it on Legend, and I was getting smoked.
Worked, yeah. I mean, mechanics wise, it's like pass, power shoot. I mean, and if you're wide open enough, I mean, items or otherwise, like you can get that guaranteed goal, which gets you 2 points or whatever. Because I don't think it's blockable if you get that.
If you get it perfect, it's not.
If you get the power shot, yeah. I don't know. I maybe I need to go back and try Battle League, but like,
well,
I feel like
to just think about this with Battle League. Remember when we all played couch?
Yeah, it was great, but like we could boot it up now and we could play strikers like we're on the couch. That's
Correct.
the beauty of that. Versus striker, like Battle League did not give us tools to do that. And I think that's where it Nintendo got away from just the ability to treat online like you're sitting in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
And then they created it with their online nostalgia apps, and they don't give that to us in their new games. But there's a character to unlock. I mean, did we have that in Battle? I mean, I guess I ran through Battle League a little bit beforehand, but there's multiple cups and I feel like there wasn't that in Battle League. I think it was just you play a round robin and that was it. There you weren't really battling for.
There were cups.
They're all cups in Battle League as well. It's the structure.
Yeah, the content's pretty much the same.
So similar, other than you have costumes in Battle League that are not in.
That's why I think a lot of this, like, a lot of it's nostalgia blinders. Like I played Battle League not Battle League. I played the GameCube version when it came to the service, and I'm like, oh wow, it's the same thing, but not as many features.
Right. And easier to play, because if you think about it, like you can do like chip shots essentially, where you like you're kicking the ball up and over, or you can kick it straight to the way you pass it. There's multiple pass. Like Battle League is actually very deep. Like the more I started getting into it,
the gear mechanic, right? Like if you're wearing gear,
it increases
stats.
Yeah.
I just think people might just not like Mario Strikers anymore. I think that's what it is.
I mean, I think you said it, Johnny. It was the first soccer game for the like Mario cast, so like that was exciting in itself. And I remember like one of my favorite games on the GameCube was I forget the name of it, but it was like a Mickey Mouse like football game. And so it had like the Mickey Mouse cast in playing football. And so I'm sure if I go back to that, it's probably not that great. But with the Strikers just being the first of its kind, and then we got Battle League, like I think they have to do something different with all of these sports games to get everyone back, because it is kind of the same thing, or it's just not enough content. I don't know, everything just feels kind of like dry.
And I think that's a very difficult thing as developers and as designers to be able to, how do we keep it arcade? Well, how do we keep it arcade? But then how do we allow for skill gap, or how do we allow for the people that want to like geek out on this stuff? And we're watching Street Fighter right now. It has modern controls. It's literally like you can push very few buttons and be able to, like, the first match Johnny and I played, I was like, yo, I just pulled off this crazy combo.
Yeah, there's a special button. And if you hit that special button, it does a special.
Yeah.
You don't have to do the inputs.
Right. And so I'm wondering if just like we were talking about with Mario Kart, how like we want to be able to play it how we want to. Mario Kart could even potentially benefit from like an easy mode that didn't involve grinding or wall riding and just played like 8.
You know what game I think did it well is Mario Golf Super Rush.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still think that's a pretty good like casual golf game. It's not sweaty. Like Aces was sweaty. That got really sweaty.
Oh yeah, it was so fun. Like I loved it, but I love to sweat with games, right?
But Super Rush took a big step back from World Tour, and that's where it struggled. The fact that online became this joke, and they didn't have simultaneous multiplayer or offline tournaments, or just like the tournament that you could set for the week, and people could play as they wanted, and it was this whole get done quickly instead of they leaned too hard into that mechanic versus what we kind of are talking about with Mario Kart, where let us play Knockout Tour, let the intermission tracks happen if you want it, but give us an option to go back and play Classic. And having like the problem with Super Rush was it didn't feel like Mario Golf because they tried too hard just to have courses and they didn't have enough Mario theming in it. Like in World Tour, there was a course where you could get like
wait, I'm gonna interrupt you for a second.
On a par 5, you could get an albatross if you hit it into a. If you
I need to interrupt you for a second.
What?
I'll rewind it. Hang on.
Oh God.
Here you go.
Just watch this little sequence here for a quick second. Oh, that wasn't. You went too far back.
I know. I went too far. Don't worry. It's not going to take long. Everybody.
Sorry, Crawler. I had to interrupt because.
All right, let's watch Chun-Li get beat up.
What's crazy is I had some.
Oh, you interrupted her combo.
Yeah. So that's like the new mechanic in this game, where it's like I don't know what they call it, but it's kind of like a counter
combo breaker.
Essentially, yes.
Oh, Killer Instinct on Switch too.
I know.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Here we go. Perfect KO. Get wrecked, Josh.
There we go. Yes. back to your albatross crawler.
But you whoop. Sorry. I'm pressing wrong buttons. There was like a course that you could you were hitting the ball into Donkey Kong barrels. And like it lost some of that in
yeah, they didn't have the Mario. They didn't have the Mario theming for a lot of the courses.
Yeah,
there
but
were some.
Go back and play the old games. It's on par. It's on par, if you will. Like,
but they had like I remember the 3DS one was so good. It had tournaments. It had challenges.
Yeah, the World Tour on 3DS is like. And Camelot made it. Like it was the same company that made Super Rush.
I think they had more time.
Yeah, but you know what happened? It didn't sell. Yeah. And so that's the problem with this being a business is that when something is really good but doesn't sell, they're going to go for the low-hanging fruit of, okay, well, it sold, what did Super Rush sell, 3 million copies or something?
Yeah, they all sell like the same amount. It's like 3 million.
Yeah, and then the DS game didn't even break 500,000.
I mean, I hope. I mean, we're still gonna get Mario sports titles, and like I hope we get.
Are we Where's Sluggers? We haven't seen Sluggers and.
Hey, the Mariners have their Switch 2 patch on their sleeves. True. Like
we haven't seen Sluggers since the Wii, right? I don't think.
Yeah. We got all of the sports franchises.
Well, it'll probably come to it's Mario Superstar Baseball on the GameCube. Get it right. It's not Sluggers. Sluggers is on the Wii.
Okay.
Sorry.
Somebody clip that. Crawler's gonna remember for the next time that we're in person.
I actually just bought. Superstar Baseball.
It's so
for
good.
the GameCube when I was at Too Many Games.
When's that coming to online?
It's probably tomorrow because I just bought it.
Okay.
They should have brought that because
I bought Wave Race on Wii U and then it came to
I think
Switch.
The baseball games could do really well because we haven't seen one in a while. We haven't seen one since the Wii. Well, I guess Strikers we didn't see since the Wii before Battle League.
Well, the sports mix games, like the last one on 3DS, had baseball, soccer, golf, and then horse riding. Like, but those games, like listening to like IGN talk about, they said, "Oh, those games are trash." Where I was like, "This is where these games shine because it's like the arcade versions of them, right? And it's easy to pick up and play. So is that a better move down the road?" I also want to point out this gameplay here. The character Johnny's playing, I said this while we were playing. she looks like a real life person trying to move like a Street Fighter character. And so see the way she moves her hips and everything like that.
I liked her. I don't understand. She has like spray cans, and I don't understand what those do.
You just covered me in graffiti. It's Splatoon, baby.
I think what I miss about like Mario sports games, and maybe I'm misremembering how they play, but I kind of like when they have like special plays and just like wacky moves that you can do. Like I know they kind of had that in Aces, like, oh, if you go here, then you can like supercharge or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I enjoyed the goal defending in the Wii Strikers, like where you had the gloves on screen.
Yeah.
You had to go blast the balls.
yeah.
All right, Johnny. All right.
You guys are children.
We're an hour and 35 minutes in. If people made it this long,
They deserve
that's
that
what
one.
they're getting. Blasting
You can clip-
balls.
you can
That's what
clip
you're
that
getting.
one. Yep.
But I don't
No,
know. I
I
just
mean,
remember like playing like backyard sports. I don't know if you guys ever played
That's
those
on.
games.
Do you know that's on the Switch?
I do. Well,
And that's the one where
baseball,
you can
right?
murder people, right? By like you can hit a line drive into their face and or no, that's Super Mega Baseball.
I was gonna say I don't.
Oh, yeah,
remember
yeah,
that
no,
much
backyard
of it.
baseball-
You
is like
you
the,
straight up murder pitchers if you hit a line drive into their face.
Yeah, no. Backyard baseball is like little kids.
Yeah.
Well, that just
That sounds
re-released.
creepy. Yeah, I know it's on the Switch. As I
Yeah.
was looking on the eShop.
Yeah, and it's like $5, I think. 10 maybe.
I
But
think it's
anyway,
10. I think it's 10.
yeah, I don't know. There's just like some wackiness I feel is missing from Mario, and I've had this like conversation with you guys before. It's like they don't know if they should go full like cartoony sports or if they should make it realistic but in Mario's world. I think that's the
Yeah.
struggle.
You know what? That just reminded me, because kind of to this point in Mario Kart World, I haven't seen this P switch yet, but Jasmine did it. She hit it, and she was racing as Koopa, which was not relevant at all. It didn't matter who you're playing as.
Mhm.
But the challenge was to fly with the Koopas, and they were all Koopas without shells and the yellow cape, just flying.
Oh yeah. I did that one.
And
What?
they're character models not anywhere else in the game that I've seen. And so
Well, I think it's a callback to Super Mario World, isn't it?
it is, yeah, it totally is. But kind of to Cheesy's point, like it was kind of out of left field. I'm like, typically in Mario Kart, you see every character model that's there. That's it. You're not seeing much. And then all of a sudden, here's all these Supermaning Koopas. And I was like, okay, we need more of this. Like this is
There's
exactly
a
what you're
shy guy.
saying.
There's a shy guy snowboard race that you have to race them down the mountain.
Yeah. But it's that kind of stuff, right, Cheesy? Where it's like,
Yeah.
it's like it's nostalgia. It's pulling from their past.
It's
But
charm.
then it's charm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The chat is laughing at us because they're supposed to be 10 minutes. So.
I guess like one thing I disliked in Aces and Super Rush was like in the story mode, they would be like, oh, use this Koopa Shell club and you can hit it further or whatever it was. And then they're like, great job. And I'm like, all right, do I ever get to use that again?
Oh,
Or,
yeah, in
like,
the
what was
single player
point?
mode?
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, and to like kind of piggyback on that, in the DS game, you had Callaway,
Yeah.
Titleist, like
They were teaming up with stuff because that was when they were doing Mercedes in Mario Kart.
Mhm.
The same time they were reaching out and getting, yeah, they had Callaway and they had other, didn't they have like clothes as well, maybe?
So you had like Callaway clothes, but you also had these super cool NES, SNES, N64 inspired outfits. Like all of the outfits
And clubs too,
were-
right? They had like drivers and
Yeah.
Well, you
And
can
we-
customize your character. It was like
Completely.
an RPG.
right.
it was a lot better. Bring back World Tour.
Yeah, just remaster it for the bring 3DS games. Just remaster it with tournaments. The
Yeah.
asynchronous tournaments were so cool.
Fantastic.
I
I mean, we were
can't
doing
believe they
those
got
on the
rid of those.
podcast we were doing those on the podcast well after the game released. We had the NPC like
I bought World
tournament.
Tour when Super Rush was announced.
Right.
Like,
yeah. So
and then it went offline. Sad.
Right. Shortly after. So, well, there you go. I think an hour 40 is long enough. Thank you guys so much for the conversations, for staying up late and hanging out with us. Or, if you're on the West Coast, you're just like, it's 9:30. What do you mean late? So I remember those days. I do. But again, thanks so much, you guys on the panel, Johnny, Crawler, Cheesy. Appreciate you guys in the conversation tonight. Was a lot of fun. And chat, you guys are amazing. And if you're listening after the fact, thank you so much. And the only thing I got to remind you guys is just to just play it loud.